June 11th. It is the day of the first African FIFA World Cup in 2010. It is the day that Jurassic Park was released in 1993. And it was the day that Clemens von Metternich died in 1859. Also, June 11th happens to be my birthday, and for my birthday, I decided to get myself the Xbox Series X. I went with the Xbox this generation because I really like alternating between the two companies. When I informed my friends of my decision to get the Xbox instead of the PS5, they spent a lot of time trying to have me reconsider. They treated it like I announced an intent to kill myself with how much they tried to talk me out of it. But nah, I like the 360, and I'm happy to jump back onto the Xbox. Now how would I make a full video on the console? I guess I'll go for a structured approach. The Xbox Series X is much smaller and lighter than I expected. It measures at 30 by 15 by 15, and by using that math they taught me in school over and over, I calculated that the volume of the Series X is 6,750 cubic centimeters. That volume makes it slightly larger than the 360. Now the Xbox has a really clean, sleek, and professional looking design, which baffles me that people insulted the design of this console on the internet. Really? Sony fans are going to start talking when their console looks like the Barclays Center / a Wi-Fi router / an anatomical part on E from WALL-E? The Series X has a stand at the bottom to keep the console erect, but I also noticed on the side there are these 4 corner nipples that give the option of keeping the console on its side. And I love when consoles offer that. The top of the console is a vent to let out heat because Microsoft has abandoned the power brick. Looking at the back of the console, we have the power that you kind of have to jam in there, a single HDMI port, the Ethernet here for wired internet connection, 2 USB slots, and a slot for storage expansion. Can't wait to complain about that when I play the next Call of Duty. And turning this thing over, on the bottom left we have the disc slot and the eject button. Now how do we turn this thing on? Easy! You gotta set the mood, light some candles, pour a glass of Rioja, and press the right spot. There. And lastly, on the bottom right, we have a sync button to connect wireless controllers and another USB port. Speaking of... Now I believe the 360 had one of, if not the greatest control design in gaming, with its button layout, sturdiness, and sense of weight. However, its biggest problem was the back of the controller. Fucking battery packs. Duracell must have made a buck off the 360. The Series X controller is about the same size as the 360 controller and not much has changed. The front has 2 clickable sticks, a D-pad, YXB are all in the correct spot, a menu button, this is called the view button and its use varies from game to game, the share button, and the Xbox home button. The top of the controller has the left and right bumpers, left trigger, right trigger, the sync button, and a port to plug the controller into the console. And right here at the bottom we have a headphone jack and port for Xbox accessories. Now in the back we do have a slot to put in batteries to power the wireless controller, but if you don't want to use batteries you can connect a wire to the controller and make it a wired controller instead. It's not convenient, but it's nice to have options. But in regards to design, it's a great feeling controller that has a sense of sturdiness and weight to it. I'll give Xbox a lot of credit for keeping things consistent and familiar, unlike Nintendo's drunk ass. After setting up the console and logging into my Microsoft account, here's the interface. You can customize the background color scheme and even edit an avatar that you'll probably never use. The interface structure is pretty simple and easy to navigate. This row will feature your recently used applications, with the most recent being highlighted on the very left, so if you use the console frequently for streaming, then you're in luck as it's not as click heavy as the PS4 is. And if you can't find the app that you're looking for, the folder on the bottom left holds all your applications. And to wrap up the tour of the interface is a single scroll down to find the Microsoft Shop and all these other settings that I'll probably never touch. The interface has a real Windows feel to it, which continues the whole professional aesthetic the console might be going for. I can probably type my college thesis on this thing. And if you're not a fan of that, then the neat feature about the interface is that when you exit a game that you're playing, the background changes to the wallpaper of your last played game. Sure, it does leave customizing the home screen a bit pointless, but hey, it looks cool. Now the Xbox is a game console, but I'd like to know if my other forms of media aren't getting left out. Does it play DVDs? Yes it does. But first you need to install the DVD player option, but it only takes a few seconds. Does it play Blu-ray DVDs? Yes. PlayStation no longer owns Blu-ray exclusivity. Does it play 4K DVDs? Yes. It is a 4K console, so I fucking hope it does. Does it play Blu-ray 3D DVDs? Yes it does. It does hurt my eyes though. Does it play music CDs? Well, after installing a CD player app, yes. It even plays the music in the background while you're in the Xbox Hub. Yeah, the Xbox is a really good media player. The idea of having one device that can play all the games in a company's lifetime is a dream and a personal turn-on. What really sold me on getting the Xbox was the fact that it was going to be backwards compatible with all the previous Xbox consoles. Hell yeah, start off with a game library of almost 6,000. But no, Microsoft had to fuck it up. The Xbox has limited backwards compatibility as not every game from past consoles is going to be supported. Now all Xbox One games work with the Series X, but out of the 360's 2100 games, only 470 will work on the Series X. That's not even a quarter of its library. It's even worse for the original Xbox, as out of its nearly 1,000 games, only 38 are supported. 4%! And in that list, Halo 1 and 2 aren't included. Microsoft's biggest mascot, and they don't even f***ing support him, but instead prioritize Blinx the Time Sweeper. Way to f*** that up, Xbox. Anyway, the games that do work, they work great. I was finally able to play Modern Warfare 3. Now, I'm a guy that likes physical games, which is why you'll catch me dead before you ever see me with a digital-only console. And so game packaging is important to me. Now, companies like changing things up. Nintendo went from black to white to blue to red, Sony went from black to blue to white, and Microsoft just goes, nah, I like green. Which is good because Xbox in any other color makes me uncomfortable. One of my favorite game packaging of all time belongs to the original Xbox. Something about the black and green makes me feel like I'm back in the early 2000s drinking Monster, eating Funyuns, and listening to Limp Bizkit. The 360 has an iconic design. I really like the Xbox One boxes. Smaller, skinnier, and with the console's name engraved into the box rather than printed on the game art. The spines are all gray, which isn't my favorite, but hey, at least the games all got their own font. My only issue with this box is the inside. Why is it on the left? I'm right-handed, damn it, how will I live with myself? Handling discs with the Series X is a bit uncomfortable, as I'm so used to using discs with the front facing my hand, but you put the disc in the Xbox facing the left. This is gonna take time getting used to. But anyway, time to talk about the Xbox Series X game packaging. What the f*** is this? It's literally the Xbox One, but without the f***ing one. You know, I said that Sony probably spent a day thinking of the PS5's packaging. Just make it white. But I'll call those men modern day innovators when the competition basically went, oh shit, we need to think of a way to package our Xbox Series X games. I got it. It doesn't even say Series X. Oh wait, I'm wrong. It does in this removable sticker. Removable sticker. Wait, stop the presses. I did notice something actually different. On the spine of the box, they removed the green from the Xbox sphere. Thank fucking God, that solves everything. This is a really hard part for me to script. I think the Series X runs fantastically and that the controller is easy to use, but I'm not sure if I'm just saying that because I'm in the honeymoon phase of owning a new console. Two things that I can say for sure are impressive is one, how when you start up a game, the console will drop you where you last left off rather than just taking you to the menu every time. And another thing that really impressed me is how quiet this thing is. Like seriously, not a single peep when running a game. And I've played Warzone on this thing, so that's fucking saying something. The Series X comes with Xbox Live. Now that doesn't mean free online multiplayer, that just means it gives you internet for online services and streaming. The actual online subscription service is called Xbox Live Gold, and it lets you play online multiplayer and gives away full free games monthly. However, the way Xbox just downloads the free games onto your console instead of letting you own the license and download it whenever you're ready to play it is a bit of a dumb decision. Gosh, I'm really going to start complaining about you soon, aren't I? And the other service is the Xbox Game Pass, which lets you have access to a list of over 100 games to play at your disposal. Both are pretty solid online subscriptions. Question is, how will this impact my wallet, and how does the price compare to the Sony counterpart subscription services of PlayStation Plus and PlayStation Now? Okay, for a month you can have all of these for a Hamilton. Okay, I took a bit of a hit there. Oh, for the 3-month package, all these services cost $25 a month. Alright, not as bad, a slightly better deal. And for 1 year, Sony offers its services for $60, which thank God I can afford food. How much is Xbox's yearly service? Oh boy, so for a full year you'd be spending up to a Benjamin on a single Xbox service. But hey, hold on, they do offer a package where you can get Xbox Live Gold, the Game Pass, and EA Play for $15 a month. Which means in a year you're spending $180. Jeez, fucking get by then. Oh look, but the first 3 months cost $1, so that's pretty good. I guess I'll start panicking in October. The last thing I'd like to cover is the Xbox app. When installing the Xbox, it encourages you to download the Xbox app and connect it to the console. The simple stuff is here like seeing your achievements, chatting with friends, and searching for and downloading games onto your console, which is actually pretty neat. Now there's also an option to launch a game on the console. Now my head drifted to the idea of being outside and then wanting to quickly sit down and play something once you get home, so you use the app to launch a game and once you're inside it's nice and ready for you. Does that work? Nope, you can only do it if the Xbox is on. This thing is pointless. Who in their right mind will be sitting on the Xbox and then pick up their phone to switch the game when you can just, use the controller? That first option would have been so cool. We have apps that let us open our garage doors but not turn on a console. What's preventing the Xbox app from being completely useless is the fact that you can view your captured clips and save them onto your phone. This is extremely useful to me as somebody who makes videos on games without a capture card. It's an easy way to get footage and the quality is not bad. So yeah, while I have my use of it, I can say that if I didn't have this little hobby, the app is practically useless. I really like the Xbox Series X, and sure, it has its problems like garbage game packaging, mind-numbing backwards compatibility, debt-inducing online subscriptions, and avatars with no necks. It's still a great-looking console that runs exceptionally well. Now sure, a lot of people are gonna run to the PS5, but the people who get the Series X are not gonna be disappointed. Yes, the console is still currently hard to acquire. Personally, I was surprised I was able to get my hands on it, but it is a wonderful birthday treat, and I'm really excited to be part of this new generation of gaming, and can't wait to see what games start making their way down the pipeline. Tune in next week for my first video on the Xbox.